day of Dhanteras, India commemorates Ayurveda Day. Since 2016, on the day of Dhanvantari Jayanti, this day has been observed every year. Since Dhanteras falls on October 23rd this year, Ayurveda Day 2022 is being observed across the country.
Tak já vás asi omluvím, nebo nevím.
The purpose of the day is to raise awareness about
Jo, vidím, no.
So I would request all the other speakers to kindly mute their mics. So let me tell you that every year on the auspicious day of Dhanteras, India commemorates Ayurveda Day. Since 2016, on the day of Dhanvantari Jayanti, this day has been observed every year. And since Dhanteras falls on October 23rd this year, Ayurveda Day 2022 is being observed across the country. The purpose of the day is to raise awareness about the value of Ayurveda in our daily life. So I would like to wind up with this while not attempting to go deeper and deeper into the subject since I'm not an authority. So rather, I would like to hear from the experts today. So wishing everyone a very happy Ayurveda Day and prosperous and Dhanteras and Diwali too. So I'm looking forward for an informative evening ahead. Thank you so much. Over to Dr. Mishra. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. बहुत धन्यवाद. Heartily thanks. And we really appreciate that Consulate General of India, Hamburg, always supporting us with all the means, not only the Ayurveda, but yoga and all the cultural events. So we are really grateful to the Consulate General of India, Hamburg, for your kind supports. And especially you that you always find time for us. So really appreciate it.
Thanks to you. You have been doing a very good job. So we must appreciate you. And
thank you, sir.
And you also organize this Ayurveda Day at a very short notice. We must appreciate. Thank you. Please go ahead with the program. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So now I would like to invite Dr. Mamta Tiwari ji, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Ayurveda, Banaras Hindu University, India. So Dr. Tiwari will, I would like to request you, please speak a few things on the Ayurveda.
सभी को नमस्कार. भारत की ओर से आयुर्वेद की ओर से सभी को प्रणाम और सभी को आयुर्वेद दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और धन्यवाद ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम को कि उन्होंने मुझे इस पर मंच पर आकर कुछ अपने विचार व्यक्त करने का मौका दिया. धन्यवाद. सर मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करना चाहूँगी. अगर जरूरत हो नहीं तो फिर ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं जैसा आप बताएं.
जी
सर स्क्रीन शेयर करनी.
या यू कैन शेयर. आप शेयर कर सकते हैं जी.
एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट एक्सपेक्ट जो आयुर्वेद का और जिसमें मैं काम करती हूँ जिस डिपार्टमेंट में उसका ये एक थम पॉइंट है डायबिटिक्स या आहार की विधियाँ जो आयुर्वेद में बताई गई हैं. So I would like to tell or through the light of the importance of this thing what I have seen in my clinical practices and what as a teacher, as a guide, what we are doing it for this in Banaras University. Insight into the Ayurveda dietetics for health promotion. We all have a proper diet and it is very much essential for everyone to have a diet. Diet could not be a choice. It is a necessity for all of us to have it. And there is a very immense impact of diet on our health as many of the researchers are doing work already on this. But the thing is that the modern medicine or the nutrition science has not still taken up the central idea of Ayurveda diet, which has been mentioned in our classical texts by Acharya Charak, Shushruta, and so on. They have emphasized the importance of diet in the form of Priyupastam. As a house is supported by the pillars for the strength, for maintenance of its stability, similarly, diet is one of the factors along with sleep and proper brahmacharya for maintenance of body health. So in this study, I would like to disseminate what are the fundamental principles of Ayurvedic dietetics and how they merit, how to understand them and how to apply them. Because the richness of the Ayurveda dietetics to prevent and control the nutritional deficiency disorder, in which we will count all the obesity, all the metabolic syndrome, all the complications of metabolic syndrome and obesity that are coming into the light today in form of diabetes, hypertension, infertility, thyroid disorders, and so on. To utilize this repository of knowledge as a major modifiable determination of chronic disease, and it would improve the lifestyle disorder, basically the non-communicable diseases, through this approach. There is Asht Ahar Vidhi Visheshaitan mentioned by Acharya Charak and Acharya Bhagat also.
I'm sorry, Dr. Tiwari ji, your PPT is not opened yet. Would you like to open the PPT?
So let me then exit out of this and then is it now open?
No. I think please close your PPT and then again share. Yes, now it's coming something.
Is it now visible, sir?
No, it's not able to open.
Yes.
So no problem. You can speak while. So yeah, you can go through the PPT is fine. It's okay. We can see you. That is nice.
Oh no, sir. Then it's not that that much required for me.
Okay.
I will once of all I will try to change because it will make a better.
Yeah, it's come. It's come. Now it's fine. Yeah.
Now is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So there are three basic ideas of dietetics which are mentioned in Ayurveda, and they are very much applicable if you see a patient in OPD or if you get into this perspective of research of the Ayurveda preventive principles. So Acharya Charak and Shushruta have mentioned a very important factor of diet that has to be determined while any person chooses his diet. If I want to choose my diet, I have to see few things. Suppose as a normal person, whenever a person chooses diet, good taste, he wants a good taste, he wants a good texture, good smell of the food. But the things which are to be determined for the benefit of the body, not just benefit of the taste, it includes प्रकृतिकरण संयोग राशि देश काल उपयोग संस्था उपयोगता अष्टमनानी जैसे आचार्य चरक और आचार्य सुश्रुत आचार्य वाघट ने भी बताया हुआ है इसको it is very difficult to interpret these terms in a practical way. The prakriti means the very nature of the food article. It is the basic nature of the food article. For example, if we have fruit juices, all the fruit juices have cold potency. In the winters in India, now we are heading towards winters, and now if the people take a fruit juice, they will end up into having a coryza food. So this means the prakriti of a thing is how, what is the innate nature of the food article that we are taking, whether it is a hot potency, whether it is a cold, whether it is heavy to digest or it is very light to digest. Next, when you have seen when you have decided what is the very nature of the food article that you are supposed to eat, then you should you will modify or you will make some preparation out of that food. You won't eat the food as such. Suppose we have pulses, we have grains, we have millets, we have other cereals also, we cook them. So whenever any process of cooking is done with an article, then it comes under the karan. Karan means the method of preparation of the food article, which may change the properties of that food article again. And then you have to see what changes are being done in the food, whether they are suitable for a person to consume or not. And then whenever we eat anything after cooking, we normally have something mixed with it. We have chapatis with dal or rice or with any form of vegetables. So what is a combination of food article that you are taking that comes under the Samyog concept of the Ayurveda? And again, this will determine whether that food will how it will be digested in your GIT tract, how it will be assimilated and metabolized. This will have an impact on your body itself. Then the quantity of food article, what you are taking a cup of any drink, or you are taking a bowl of rice or half bowl of rice, what quantity you are supposed as total or in a single fashion, if you can judge it. Then the quantity is also important of the food, and this comes under the Rashi. Rashi is in Sanskrit terminology. Then comes the place of a food article. The food article which you are eating, if suppose you are there in Germany, you have to eat the food which is grown there in Germany itself, because the people who are living there in the same environmental condition and the foods which are grown in the same conditions are more suitable for the person to eat, rather than taking something which is exported from a very far off place. It will not have that similar concepts, and it will not help the body to fully utilize the properties of that food. This comes under the desh dharana, या देश decide करेगा. Then comes the kal. Kal means the time of intake of food. Ideally, Ayurveda mentions that there should be two kalas or of food. You should take two times food in a day. Food means here the proper meal. Full meal you should be taken twice a day. Small meals may be altered according to the need of the person, but the big meals or the full meals should be taken twice a day. And again, it could be depending upon the state of the person, condition of the person. Then comes the rules. There are various rules which are advocated in Ayurveda for taking the food articles. How you have to take in the plate, how you have to eat it, how you have to sit, while in what environment you should sit to eat those food articles, because it will again have the effect on your digestion and further on process. Then the person who is taking the food, whether he likes what are his likes, what are his dislikes, what condition, what age he is, what physical activity level the person has. This all again, these are the 8 things that has to be considered while a person is taking the food, and he should observe these things and then decide how much it would be beneficial for him to take any food article. Then what are the interpretations of these norms? Why you should examine these norms? Because this will determine whether the food you are taking is wholesome. Wholesome means good for your body, or it's not good for your body. That means unwholesome. It will not have a good effect on your body. And it will be individualized for every person. That each and every person should examine these 8 things for his own self, not for the others. And again, when the seasons are changing, when the अग्नि की परीक्षा पुनः पुनः करनी होती है, आहार मात्रा की परीक्षा बार बार करनी होगी, क्योंकि जैसे जैसे सीजन बदलेगा, जैसे जैसे आपकी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी एज बदलेगी, ये फैक्टर्स बदल जाएंगे. And when you use judicially these things, this will help to develop a good food habit. Next, Acharya Charak also mentioned very common thing, how to have a food. What should be the rules to have in food when you have a food plate in front of you? What properties, what things you should mention, what should you be considering while having the food? The first one he mentioned, Ushna Mashniyat means, Ushna means hot, means you should always take the food which is freshly prepared. It doesn't mean hot food that you should take it out of the fridge and then you can hot it, or in the microwave you can get hot. Hot here means that the food which is freshly prepared, and the best is that time the food is prepared and you eat it, not keeping it aside and then not recooking it again to get it hot. Then snigdha bhojanam, snigdha mashniyat, he said. Snigdha means the substance which has unjust property. It should be mixed with some sort of oil or ghee in content in it. Again, there is very juxtaposition in today's what the people are avoiding ghee and oils at all. Means they are not using it in a single drop also. Some people we see in OPDs, they have totally avoided ghee because their lipid profile will increase or so on. But in Ayurveda, it is recommended that in a moderate amount, ghee or any natural oil which which is popular in your area and it is pure, it should be used while cooking, and your food should be unctuous, it should be slick. You should have a proportionate diet which is required by your body. It's not that 2 chapatis are good for everyone, but 1 ball of rice is good for everyone. Everyone has his own matra, his own digestive capacity, and a person should have the diet according to it. And next, he said, Jirna Mashniya means once you have taken a diet, and then again, when you feel that you have your period diet, which has you have taken period meal, is digested, only then a person should take a next diet. It's not that one diet in the morning, one snacks in the afternoon, and again one in the night. It should not be like that. Whenever your body feels hungry, you have a feeling of sensation of hunger, only then you should have a food. You should not have a food by the clock, but rather you should have the food by the body's demand. You should not have the uncontraindicated food mixed together and eaten. There is a long list of uncontraindicated food that is mentioned in Ayurveda, and then these foods should have a very bad impact in a long term for a person. So these should be avoided. The place of having the food has a very much important impact on the total metabolism digestion of the food. So Acharya mentioned that Ishta Sava Upkaranam Bhojanam. Isht means wanting, which you like. You should have a place, people around you, a place where you have a food which is good for your mental peace. Na ati dhrutam, na ati vilambitam. He mentioned that ati dhrut means not in a very hurry. When you are running for your office and you just take a sandwich and pull it in your mouth and eat it like anything, and then rush to your office or to your work, this is not going to work for you. It will have a bad impact. Rather than eating a small bite and sit down and eat a small bite, it would be more better for the person. Watching TV or using mobile phone is a very common thing we see nowadays, and people eat for hours along with their diet plate, meal plate. So it is not again recommended by Ayurveda. They said that you should not eat food in a delayed manner. And while eating the food, you should even not talk, not laugh, and only concentrate on the food, what you are eating. Take the taste of the food, feel the sensations of food, how they are when you take from your mouth, how it passes to your throat, and all these things. So they recommended the very much important of mindful eating through various sections that they are mentioning here. This is the norm of healthy eating. Eating this way will help you to digest the good quality of food that you have taken. Even the quality and quantity of the food is good, but the proper way is not followed. Again, there won't be a good digestion, there won't be a good absorption and a proper benefit of the food that we are taking in. So these are the norms of healthy eating, which are good for better digestion. And they also signify the minute body-mind relationship that is a key point in Ayurveda for all the preventive aspects. Then there is also in 12 principles about eating the food which are mentioned by Acharya Shushruta. He has mentioned in a different way. He has mentioned the different properties or attributes of food which are good for different persons, different diseases, And then in how a person could radically choose what is good for me. Suppose with the food which is has a cold potency, it is good for the person who has a burning sensation, who is addicted to alcoholism, or he is suffering from excessive thirst. Similar way, the foods which are having the hot potencies would be good for the persons suffering with vata disorders, that is the nervous system normally, and also the cough disorder person who have the disease related to cough. The food snigdha bhojan, food which is rich in fat, is good for the vata constitution, vata prakriti patient, and ruksha post persons. Similarly, ruksha ahar, which is devoid of devoid of fats, should be used by the persons which are suffering from obesity or they had received oleation or snehan therapy. Liquid diet is more good for the persons who are suffering with dehydration and thirst, while the dry type of diet is recommended for persons with diabetes and clay in their body. Next, some persons could have also important to have a single diet in a day. These persons will be the persons who have weak digestive fire. They need not to have a full meal twice a day because they are not able to digest it. So it is simple. They could also have an option of taking a single diet a day. And the persons who have a good digestion fire, good digestive capacity, can have a diet twice a day. Some patients don't like to take medicines, especially in Ayurveda. We have seen so many patients that they don't like the taste of the classical medicines which are given to them. So sometimes these medicines could also be mixed with the meals or food, and this would be also a helpful thing that diet could be modified. Diet in less amount again is required for the persons which have the low digestive capacity or low metabolic fire, and normal persons or perfectly healthy will have a normal diet. This is Dodashan Ashan Vichar by Shushrup. It defines the beneficial attributes of diet and also signifies the importance of diet in different conditions or different stages of persons and patients. And it helps to maintain Agni or metabolic fire for good health. Then comes the concept of quantity of food, which is very much debated nowadays in research as well as in the clinical settings also, how a diet amount could be decided. So there is a one concept of this using the pyramids, that it should be major, this should be minor, and again like this. But what actually ends up is this: our choices often don't measure up to what we should be eating. We recommend a person that he should eat this, but again, what happens after a week or 10 days, he will leave those concepts behind and he will take whatever he wants. So then we come here, we can utilize the concepts of Ayurveda in different simple attributes that could be mentioned to the patients. How you can decide what should be the appropriate quantity. You should have a food in appropriate quantity, but how to decide appropriate quantity? So there are some norms which are there given in the Ayurveda, that it should be according to digestive fire. If you are taking a heavy food which is heavy to digest, like something in the fast food, pizzas, momos, or something like very dense stuff, then you can have the food only up to half of your digestive capacity, and others you can have to your, which are lighter, suppose moong dal soup, then you can have to your satisfaction. Or there could be another criteria which we can easily explain the patient, that you could imagine 3 parts of your stomach, and one should be filled with solid, one with liquid, and other should be kept empty. Simple. If even you don't stick to my norms or don't stick to my all the recommendations of diet, at least you can follow the quantity, and rest you can have a slight modifications. There are also very classical signs which are there that you can know. Some people come with the indigestion. Very common nowadays is indigestion, constipation. Each and every third person will come to you and they will ask, we don't have a good digestion, we don't have a good bowel habits, then they should be recommended of or they could be asked of these signs whether you have this when you take a diet. Because if they don't have these symptoms, that means they have signs, that means they have somewhere inappropriate digestion of food, which is troubling them and which is ending up in so many other forms of disease with which they come to our clinical settings. The characteristics of proper digestion in a very simple language has been told by Acharya Charak in Vimanistan, and these are very much easier to diagnose with the patient or to talk with the patient. Do you have obstruction after eating? You feel obstruction in respiration or heaviness in your heart? Do you feel any type of pain in your flanks? Do you have excessive heaviness in the abdomen and you feel uneasy to walk or to sit? If you have these sort of problems, that means you don't have a proper digestion. You should follow my recommendations, and then after having modification in your diet, you can have no obstruction, no pain, no heaviness. Your senses will be satisfied. Your hunger and thirst will be quenched. You will be easy with standing movement and any other activity after taking your food. You will have a good bowel movement evening and morning, and it will also help to promote strength, complexion, and development. So this is a plate, and these are 4 corners of our plate that we should emphasize. The quantity of diet will differ from person to person, and the quantity should neither be excess nor in the lesser quantity, and it has to be really in accordance with the digestive capacity of a person, and it would help to prevent indigestion and all the further complications that would be ending up. So concluding my submission is that the food is considered to be pran, virtue attributed to food, includes physical growth and development, appearance, intellect, voice. Mental and physical values of food in Ayurveda have emerged from nature and not from laboratory. From the personal experience, what has been seen in the persons and patients. Ayurveda classes gave a basic principles for having food for its proper digestion and assimilation. So it can give us its best nutritive value. Day-to-day life can prevent non-communicable diseases. So following these things, just not reading about them, knowing about them, really they have to be applied by each and every individual, whether in India or outside, if they really want to get away from the era which is coming with lots and lots of different kind of new diseases also, and along with the older one. Thank you. And I hope
Thank you very much.
Able to justify what I was trying to do.
Thank you, Dr. Mamta Tiwari ji. Many thanks. And really, it was very interesting. And I know as all speakers are super expert in your own field, so even the 10-15 minutes is too short to speak on the particular topic. Even I know in one topic you take generally to teach 1 week or 2 weeks, and only 10 minutes, 15 minutes speaking is not possible. So still, many thanks for your efforts, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I would like to request Dr. Priyanka ji. She's Dr. Priyanka Ganpat Chorge. She's the founder of Ayurveda and board member of IFAD EV Germany. And she is based in Hamburg. So Dr. Priyanka ji, please speak on your topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra ji, for everything. Yeah. Namaste, everyone. On the occasion of World Ayurveda Day celebration, which is going to be on this Saturday, and we all are here meeting virtually, it's a great honor and pleasure to be a part of this program, which is being organized by Shaktya as well as in collaboration with Consulate General of India, Hamburg. And it's really nice to see all of you here, the great stalwarts. Yeah, so as we all know that this year's Ayurveda Day theme is Har Ghar Ayurved. So Ghar Ghar Ayurved. So with this, actually when we come out of India, we do not understand the importance sometimes when we are based in India, but when we come out of India, when we look at us as a promoter of Ayurveda, and they come to us and they say, oh, you all must be knowing yoga and Ayurveda. When we just say that, yes, we are an Ayurvedic doctor, then it's sometimes a real, very mixed feeling actually. When we just tell, when we are in India, yeah, people do come, but when we are out and then people ask about some small things, then we realize, yes, it's something which people, the whole world actually looks upon us, that yes, you have something very nice, very unique thing to give to the world. And that's how we started with so as I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, and then we just found out how we can practice in Germany, and everything started while practicing here in Hamburg. The first 2 years was like, okay, I have to practice, but we really do not have the main tools with which we can actually practice, because the main medicines which we use in a day-to-day life, we do not get. Even the simpler ones are not available. So what can be done? So food was the only a weapon, what I can see, that with which I could really treat the people. And that is how I entered into this one. And then the theme that came up was like food as medicine. So first hurdle was like, okay, you have to cross the language basis. When that was crossed, then fine. Now how do I get my things? So as we know in Ayurveda, it said that anything and everything around you is medicine. So that's what then I decided, yes, we have to go follow this rule and see. So I just made a small presentation. So if allowed, then I would like to share the screen. Just a minute. Is it visible for everyone?
Yes, please.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so food as medicine. So this is how then we took the point. And now, as most of us are the Ayurvedic doctors here, I'll not go into the basic thing, but yeah, so Ayurveda as a knowledge of life, we just understood that without knowing the basic principles, even while teaching here or while telling to the people here, we actually have to tell them that when we think from Ayurvedic perspective, even as a layman has to see, there will be few words which will be very specific and which has to be known. So at least in Germany, and if anyone comes to you as a patient, for sure they'll be knowing these three, the word Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the three doshas, and the Pancha Mahabhutas. So the basic first principle of Pancha Mahabhuta that we use for even while telling about food, it comes the first one that we should be knowing. Then we also we go for this three dosha concept, and that concept is also a must when we think from the food point of view, because what is first we have to know that what your prakruti is or what your doshas are, and then we think from the food point of view that what should be given to this particular person. When I'm thinking only from the medicine point of view, like har ghar ayurved, so har ghar mein jab sochna hai, to the prakruti of every person has to be thought about. So Prakriti is one of the most loving topic, not only whether when I was as a student, but even when I come here and we have the students here, it becomes the most favorite topic here as well. And people like to know about their constitution, what exactly they are and what they should eat. They are very particular, and sometimes, yeah, I just tell them, yes, though it's Germany, but the best part of Germans is like they love to follow some rules and regulations. They are very particular about the rules and regulations, and some rules and regulations about their food and some good things which they can take. They try to do that as much as possible. So that's how when we tell them, they like it. One more important principle which people like to learn or know is about the dhatus, because when we think from the Agni, that is the digestive part of any person. So we also need to think from the Agni point of view, and that time the Agni of each and every dhatus, that is also to be considered. So whether we think from the medicine point of view for treating any particular disease, or when we just think from a very straight point of view that, okay, this is the food that you have to consider. So then the prakriti of the person is, for example, more kapha pradhana prakriti, then what kind of food? So we should know which Agni of his is maybe weaker. So we need to give such kind of food which will increase the Agni. Now, even while doing this, we also need to remember about the Ayurvedic clock. So this Ayurvedic clock, the daily regime when we follow. So food, it becomes a part of our daily regime. So we have to be very particular at what time and when to have. Now, do we really follow the time to time connection of the food eating habit, or do we only consider about the Agni? So these 2 points always becomes the first question when it comes that, okay, what should I consider when I'm thinking from the food point of view? So yes, about the daily regime, you have to be more particular, but the diet, when we think from diet, what should be my diet? So the first question comes is like, yes, I'm having this 4-folded diet. Like I have my breakfast, I have my lunch, dinner, sometimes some snack. So what is the exact thing that we do? So is it some particular very general rule that we have, or do we need to go only for the particular rules? So as a general rule, in this slide, we can explain that, yes, let it be a person of any prakriti or a mixed prakriti. We need to think first is, what is your Agni? What is your digestive power? So to keep our digestive power good, I've always recommend that at least have a small piece of ginger at least 15 to 20 minutes before starting your food. So you know that, okay, you're going to eat in and around 8:30 or 9 o'clock your breakfast, then maybe if possible, just have a little bit, very small portion, or not portion, I can say a small piece of ginger, just chew it so that your digestive juices are already are generated, and then you have the food which will be heavy to digest, or which is even of the medium level to digest. About the timings, now once we go to the further, Dr. Tiwari, she has most of the points she has already covered, which was so nice. So I'll just try to be a little bit fast, which it should not be the repetition. So when we consider from the food as medicine point of view, the first is like the first pillar, which will be is the food. What is the food that you're choosing for yourself? What is the recipe that you have considered? What is a menu? What combinations are you doing? And for particular person of this constitution, for the prakriti, what is the dietary plan that we are giving? So it is not so easy. It is a little bit complicated if you see from this complication point of view. And when you see from the very open point of view, yes, it is easy to accept. But only thing is sometimes we need to consider or consult an Ayurvedic doctor for that. So it becomes more easy. Because the question will be, what should I eat, when, and how much? Because it is me. So Ayurveda always considers everyone as a separate individual. It is not that something is very much generalized. There will be few things which are generalized, but most of the time it is customized. So that is the beauty of Ayurveda. So har ek insan alag hai, uski prakriti alag hai. So we have to think from every person's point of view. So the first will be the order of eating. It is said that first we should eat the sweet, the madhura rasa. So the madhur does not mean only madhur in the sense sweet in taste, but sweet in the after digestion when it is sweet. So there are the vipaka, which vipak it comes from. So first was like the madhura vipaki, then the amla rasatmak, the one which is a bit sour in taste, then salty, then comes katu, which will be spicy. Then comes tikta, that means something that is bitter, then kashaya, and then at the end, again, a little bit of sweet, which we have as a dessert. But mind you, yes, it has to be a little bit of that. Now, the concept of ama is very important in this one, because we should know what is ama. If we do not follow all these rules, then the ama will be increased. Now, what is ama? The way we see that the fire, when there's little fire and we keep of some wood, then it burns well. But when the wood is more, then what we get is the smoke here. The same thing is with our digestive power. So when we have less digestive power, or when we have less hunger, in that when we eat too much, then what is formed is the ama, the toxic material. And this toxic material is the major cause of any kind of disease. So when we think from ahara point of view or from Ayurvedic point of view, food becomes a major medicinal view. Like it has to be considered very well. If you have food properly, you do not need medicine, or then we need to take medicine as a food. So this is very important. So then how much is too much? How do we know that, okay, how much shall I eat? So we always say that, yes, consider your stomach divided into the 4 parts. Remember to take only 3/4 of it. 1/4 should always be left behind, so that the mixture of the food will be very well. There will be liquid, which can be just, it just mixes very well. So that is very important. Or then if you do not eat properly, the ama will start eating you. So this is what you can see in this picture as well. Now the 8 factors of nutrition. Dr. Tiwari ji, she has gone very much in detail with it. So maybe I'll try to skip few points, which should not be the repetition. But yes, all these 8 points are of the utmost importance when we think from food point of view, that, okay, yes, what is your prakriti? So first, your prakriti, that is your constitution. If you are from a vata prakriti, the person who keeps on moving a lot, what we can see like from the lamb here, who jumps from one place to another, moving, vata person, then he should be having something that is warm, oily, or cooked. The person with the pitta prakriti, who's very with a fire, a lot of aggressiveness, then he needs to be cooled down. So that person should have something that is heavy, dry, or cold, or more sweet. And one with the kapha, who's like, I've put the elephant here. So he is actually resting so much. So we need something for him to move. And for that reason, a light or hot or spicy food will be better for such a kind of person. Now, pathya, the main rules of the food while eating food we should consider. That is like the food which is fresh, adjusted according to your nature, in and around you, from the country where you come from. So what is available in your vicinity, those habits are to be considered. So first will be desha, so the place. Now the place means where the food is being produced, as well where you come from. So both the things, the place where a person is born and brought up, and the place where it is produced. So person who stays in Germany, we cannot say that everything what is produced or what is made in India will be good for him. Now, Ayurveda is something not only limited only to India. It has to be considered as a globalization. Every person will have, or every area will have their own localized Ayurveda. So that locality or whatever is available in our surrounding, that has to be considered. So because of globalization, we get, for example, watermelon, we do get it during the winter season as well. So will that be good? The things which are supposed to be taken, the juicy things which are supposed to be taken during the summer season, if that is taken in the winter, it is going to create ama, it is going to create the problem. So from that view, we have to consider what is being produced, because the things are produced in the summertime, which might be in South America, but because of globalization, if it's available even in Germany during the winter, no, we cannot have it. So those things we have to consider. The kala, when we think from the kala point of view, the right time of eating food, as well the season which we have to consider, which season it is and what are we eating. So that is again the time. What is your age, what you're eating? So age point of view, that is also one way. Or what is the time of the day that you're having it. So all these things are to be considered when we think from kala, like what is the time that we follow. So if a person is old age and he is always having very dry things, it is going to increase the vata in him. Now, if you're very hungry and you're not eating at that time, but rather eating at the times when you're less hungry, then again, it is going to create problems. So you should, and not because it is just 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock and you should have your food, you should think from the, no, because everyone is eating, so I have to eat. So these things we have to avoid. What we can do is, yes, I eat the time when I am hungry. So I might be hungry right now, but the person in front of me may not be hungry. So then we have to consider when I'm hungry, that is the time when my body needs food. So hunger should be of the utmost importance. So that is what we have to consider. Or during the daytime, we can have something that is raw, like salad, which is a very big fad right now. So that part, which is raw food, can be we can have it during the afternoon times, because the sun is on the head. That time it can be digested well. But during the night times, during that kal, when it is more cold and sun is not there on the head, so the digestive parts also decrease, the agni also decreases. So we should have something more warm to digest, but light for the body to digest. Now I have just made this slide, like what is good for the heart diseases when we think from the food as medicine point of view, like for example, amla or the tomatoes, some radishes, the red ones which are available here, the white gourd, that is the loki, which we say, or for the skin and hair, there are certain vegetables which are available in and around in Germany. So I've just made this slide, which we can have it on the regular basis. So the herbs which are available here, we can also think that as from the food point of view, like if the basil, that is the tulsi. So now there are many types of basil that we get here. The Italian basilicum, it has got some other properties, but considering the availability, fine. The Strauch basilicum, what we get here, that can be somehow mismatched with the holy basil, what we get in India. So that is more pungent or astringent and good for the respiratory tract diseases. And we have used that very well during the COVID times as well. So those things which we can incorporate into our food at the regular basis, that can also help us a lot. Then curcuma, which is like the turmeric, haldi, that we use it as in the Indian kitchen, we use it quite regularly for the cooking. But I also tell the German Küche, like German kitchen, if we can use it for cooking some vegetables at the daily basis, that will also be very helpful because of the antibacterial and so for the immunity, or also as an anti-cancerous, it's very helpful. Now the flax seeds, that is the atasi or alsi jo hum log bolte hain, so that is also very nice and to have it in the day-to-day life. So what it is anti-asthmatic and also good for the joint pains or the joints. So these are the few things which we can use it at the regular basis. So, what are the fruits? When we think from the food, then okay, comes the vegetables, the fruits, or the how we make it. So the fruits which we get regularly I have just chosen from the German market, which we get often is apples or bananas, which we can have. So for example, apple, which is available the whole year round, but during the September season is the most. September, October is the main period of getting the apples, or the oranges, which we have it during the winter season here. So that is also good and very digestive. Or the pumpkins, which is right now is the pumpkin season, which is good for your brain and also good for the nourishment. The grapes. So there are certain things that we should have the local ones which are available in that particular season. And then about the vegetables which we can think is like the spinach or the dill. Obviously, depending on the prakriti, we need to consider them, what is good for everyone. We cannot generalize here, but yes, these are few things which generally everyone can have it. When we think other, like if you are considered as kitchen medicine, so things available in our kitchen, in our daily kitchen, like what we can use when we are having some problems with the asthma. So maybe we can consider from mustard, or the arthritis, we can consider mustard. The cumin seeds, which is good for the cleansing of your kidneys, or also for the respiratory diseases. Also, we can use it for the decreasing the weight. So for the weight loss problem, when someone is having the digestive problem or inflammatory problems, then we can go for the ginger, which is there again in our food on the regular basis. Or rosmarine or thymine, which we use on the pizza, we have it many a times. Or the Italian herbs we say, so it's quite digestive and palliative. Or nutmeg, or the we say muscatnuss here in German. I'm just not getting the Indian word here. Jaifal, जो हम लोग बोलते हैं. So that is very nice for the cold and the cough or the digestive problems. And the cinnamon, that is dalchini. So that is also good for the skin or the digestive problems. Now, few of the healthy drinks which we say, which is very, 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 very famous in Germany, is like the golden milk. It is like the boiled milk, which we have it, the haldi ka doodh, jo bolte hain. So that is very favorite. Even we get it in some coffee shops here nowadays, like the kurkuma latte, they say here. So that is one good thing. Or boiling sariva and having it regularly. So now, though the seasons have changed in India as well, but sariva water, it is very good digestive, keeps warm your body, and it's also good to have it on the daily basis. Or the buttermilk, which is though seasonal, but still buttermilk is far better than yogurt at the daily basis. So this is few of the superfoods what we say in Ayurveda, which we have, that is Chavanprash or Kushmanda Avleha, or the hot ginger water, ghee with milk. They are like the rasayanas what we can use it. Now, few drugs which we use from the treatment point of view, which also are part of the food, because sometimes we do use ashwagandha leaves or the guduchi leaves. There are a few people who make the vegetable curry out of it. So these, but actually they are the drugs which we use it, and which should be used under the Ayurvedic Vaidya. So under this thing, we should be using it. So now what else we can have it when we consider Har Ghar Ayurved? So even yoga becomes a part of it. So whether we do pranayam on the regular basis, or we do yoga for boosting our immunity on the regular basis. And apart from that, when stress comes a major factor in our day-to-day life, then again we have to consider that as a point and consider yoga as one of the things. Meditation, which we cannot rule out in any case, because meditation is one big factor. If we do daily, we can actually balance ourselves very well. So this is how we can consider Har Ghar Ayurved. So Har Ghar Ayurved or yoga, ye dono bhi aana chahiye. So this is how we can go ahead. So this is our clinic here in Hamburg. And yeah, there are a few Ayurvedic doctors here in Germany, and we have made an association together right now. It's just a very small, newly made, but we are around 80 doctors. So it's a quite big number, 80 doctors in Germany. And we just came together right now. And in next weekend, we are actually having a European Ayurveda Congress. So yeah, it's small steps we are going ahead with. So with the help of Ministry of Ayush and Embassy and the Consulate General of India, Hamburg, they're slowly trying to go ahead. So thank you once again. And thank you for hearing me patiently.
Thank you, Priyanka ji. I like your one word is generalize to customize. So we need as expert, so things is general is everywhere. But as expert, you customize, this is very important, and that we need that things here. So thank you very much. I know that you have to leave. So may I request everyone that please put on your camera so that we can take one group photo, although we will not miss each other. So it will be nice. So gallery. Dingra sir, can you? Dingra sir? Yeah, just we'll take one screenshot, so it will be great. So smile, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So now, now our next speaker, I would like to request Shri Govind Rajpoot ji. He's the Director, University of Ayurveda, Prague, Czech Republic. So Shri Govind ji, please bless us with your speech. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar to everybody. Today is I'm very sorry for, first of all, to join you late because of the some technical system problems using Linux system. It took me a little time to join you. So I missed the introductory part for whom we are here, but for we are here, with whom we will deal, or this presentation is for in general everybody, or for the pandits of Ayurveda, experts and practitioners of Ayurveda, for whom it is. I don't know, but I know certainly today is a Dhanvantri day. So first of all, Naman, Pranam to Dhanvantri, who as per the Vedic culture is founder or one of the founder of the existence. We can't date it, when and how. Though, to remember that, and the word Ayurveda itself, saying the word Ayu, it itself is a great mystery. Just to understand Ayu, one life sometimes seems very less. Very short time to understand the word Ayu, what it is. Then to know the Ayu that we generally translate Ayurveda, or we compose the word Ayurveda, I feel that the word Ayu should be understood. And Ayu is not one factor, as everybody, all masters here, they know it. Well, a structural morphological body, physiological body, psychological body, and spiritual body. A spiritual body is the root for Ayu. Therefrom, which is non-dualistic, then the dualistic manifestation happens, and that's the mind. There is a language, there are senses, there are all the world. Then from the mind is the physiology, and from the physiology is the structure and morphology. So all together is alive, is existing only by prana. We say prana. In some level it is prana. At some level it's Agni. What Agni is, what prana is. Then we have to go deeper, very deep in the field of spirituality. And about spirituality, there is no words. That's only experience. And not this experience of the mind, which needs nama rupa, words, and their meanings and feelings. Without that, with no mind. So no mindness is in the spirituality. That's the practice of, sorry. No mindness, which part of yoga? How to become a no mindness, or having no mind, or being without mind. Then comes psychology, mind, mana, and to understand it, that is the root for physiology. So all the bhavs, gunas, tendencies, vrittis of the mind, that brings to physiology. And from there, the physiological part, the dravya gunas, gurvadi gunas, they're from the mahabhutas, from there the doshas, from there the dhatus, from there the tissues, organs, and the structural body. And we generally confuse what Ayu means. Where is the Ayu? So to understand life, generally we translate Ayu as a life. But what life is? So such a small, basic, fundamental understanding is generally our target to introduce this Ayurvedic awareness, Ayurvedic concept of life in Czech Republic, in the University of Ayurveda Prague, and in collaboration with the Open University of Yoga and Ayurveda Tapovan in France from last 20 years. And we founded a Ayurvedic Consortium of Europe. So on behalf of Ayurvedic Consortium of Europe and University of Ayurveda Prague, I pay respect to everybody, regards to everybody, and congratulations on this day of Ayurveda. Celebrate it, and we are celebrating it throughout the world, worldwide. Today is in Germany and in France, and Sunday we will be having here celebration in Prague with the embassy, and we are very grateful to our government of India, which is strongly promoting the traditional wealth of India, of Ayurveda. So let's celebrate and let the world know what Ayurveda is. Everybody is expert, Pandit in their own subjects. So make it so simple to let the people understand and let them decide how they can use in their personal life, social life, and general life. That's all. Let's speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shri Govind Rajpoot ji. And I know that you are doing excellent in Prague. So really congratulations to you for the promotion of Ayurveda in the Prague, Czech Republic. Thank you very much. So now our next speaker is Dr. Kalpana is here. No. Okay. So now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Arjun Singh Baghel, Professor and Head of the Department Institute of Teaching and Research of Ayurveda, Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar. So Dr. Arjun, sir, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Please come and bless us.
Okay. I want to share my slide.
Yes, sir, please.
It is visible and my voice. You can hear, sir, me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
First of all, thanks to Rajesh Mishra ji and all the guests, Gulshan Dhingra ji, Govind Rajpoot ji, and all the speakers like Mamta Tiwari, Kalpana, Bhupinder, Ramya, Sanjeev ji, Priyanka, and Rajpoot. So today it is a part of the National Ayurveda Day. We are celebrating here. So congratulations to all. And this year's theme is Har Din Har Ghar Ayurved. So almost we follow the dietetics rules, but not properly we are followed. But my topic is just already covered by the Mamta Tiwari and Priyanka Chaudhary. So I'll discuss only the remaining points. So I'm also prepare the topic dietetics in Ayurveda, but already this topic is covered. So as we know, Charak already says that there is Ahar Achar Cheshta Sut. Means the complete wellness, one should follow the correct regimen of diet, it is Ahar and lifestyle, which include the one's daily regimen and code of conduct. So here, diet is one of the important factors, as well as our lifestyle. Bihar is also important for the proper health. So it is important what is correct diet and lifestyle regimen as per the Ayurved. In Ayurved, there is very much description is available regarding these 2 points, because the motto Swastha se Swasth Rakshan is the prime first motto of Ayurveda, and secondary is Atura se Vikar Prashna. So we have to know about our prime motto and what are the rules about this. And regarding the Ahar, there is 2 aspects. First, the types of foods, and then methods of taking foods. So both already discussed about previous, like Ahar Dravyas, like cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables. These are the various classifications of Ahar Dravyas. So we have to choose some balanced for our daily diet. So I am not going to detail because Priyanka also highlighted on this topic very much clearly. And what are the Ahar and dietetics? We have listened by the Mamta Tiwari madam, and we have to choose which type, what is our food habit. So there are so many foods are available, but we have to choose which is suitable to us. And the way of taking meals, it is also various different types. Everyone taking in different way. But what are the proper manners? It is clearly described in Ayurveda. So we have to know, and it is already discussed by the earlier speakers, previous speakers. And so we have to know what do we want to eat, and what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, and where to eat. So before the eating, we have to think a lot of things. It is suitable to me, it is beneficial for me, it is wholesome or not. All the things we have to think before the eating. And once we have make the habit, so it will be maintain our health. And what is ahar? The items which take through the oral routes and which will fulfill our body functions, that is ahar. And ahar is one of the important factors we need not to discuss. So, and ahar has given in Ayurvedic classics, it is the prime importance, because ahar is one of the sub-pillar. There are 3 sub-pillar of the ahar, and ahar is one of as a medicine also. There is no alternative of ahar, and only through the ahar we can maintain our body. So ahar is a for health and disease. So it is the factor which affect. If we take a wholesome diet, so we will get a happy, pleasure, and if unwholesome, so it will be create various diseases and unhappy. So ahar is one of the important factor, which is we have to follow proper diet and proper dietetics manner. And in Gita also, there highlighted this: all bodies subsist on the food. So ahar is one of the basic requirement for the survival of the life. So food sustains the life for living beings. So not only require for human being, but all the living beings in the universe require the food. All the activities leading to the happiness. For the happiness, we have to require healthy body, and to maintain the healthy body, we have to take a proper ahar, proper diet, and proper manner. So hence, food is the basic factor for the attainment of the all. So without ahar, proper ahar, we cannot get a happy, healthy body. And through healthy body, we can achieve all the things. And concept of ahar is divided grossly in 2 ways. What should be consumed and how should be consumed. Both of these are complementary to each other. One defines the quality ingredients which are taking daily diets. So that should be, there's a quality, and the other shows the way to get maximum benefit from the quality ingredients. That is the ethics of food. So this thing we have to know. And the importance of ahar. Health as well as the disease condition depend on the various factors. Among this, ahar is the most important. Proper diet, not only the proper diet, taken in proper manner can lead to the better health. On the contrary, proper diet, if not taking proper manner, can lead to the diseases. So here, ahar is important, as well as the manner of taking food. It is also one of the important factors. So food is essential for sustaining the life living beings, and there are so many benefits: longevity, wisdom, happiness, strength, and intellectual, all depend upon the food. Thus, food is the greatest in comparison to other things. So food is essential for all. And Charak emphasizes that wholesome food is one of the cause for the growth of the living beings, and unwholesome food for the growth of diseases. So the food is the important for a healthy and diseased person. So adequate growth and maintenance of the body essentially depend on the optimum and balanced diet. So we have to take proper diet and balanced diet. Acharya Kashyap has described that Ahar is a Mahavesage, supreme basis, already highlighted by the Priyanka. Dietary consideration is an important component of every prescription in Ayurvedic therapy. Sometimes dietary management is in itself a complete cure. So if we take in Ahar in proper manner and proper quality diet, so we will keep or sustain our health. So there are some methods in taking the meals. Ahar as well as the method of intake both have equal importance in Ayurveda. Since food and drinks have much therapeutic value as drugs in Ayurveda, a physician has expected to process a thorough understanding of their source, classification, nutritional merits, adverse effect, and therapeutic roles. So this thing we have to know, then we can advise for pathya and apathya. So good physician had, in fact, to be a competent nutritionist and dietitian as well. So we have to know about the quality of a diet and a pattern, how to take and which time take. So this thing is important. So in modern medical science, food is considered important, but not the manner of eating. Only gross component of the diet like carbohydrate, fat, proteins, minerals, waters, vitamins, etc. taken in consideration. Ayurveda describes other aspects of the diet and nutrition like consideration of the food article, their quantity, method of preparation, their emotional effect, and difference in their quality depending upon the additions and other valuable factors like nature of the consumer along with the environmental consideration such as weather. And so here individual prakriti and seasonal factor also important taking in a meal. So this thing considered in Ayurveda. So there are methods. So I am skip these points because already covered by the Mamta Tiwari madam. So these rules, Ayurvedic dietetic guidelines already described. So I am skipping this Ushna Bhojan, Snigdha Bhojan, Lag Bhojan, Matravat, etc. So I'm not wasting the time. So we have to take proper hygienic and proper manner. It is important. And we have to respect elders also. And proper place is important. And a proper concentration also important. Eat while there is interest. If we are not interested in food, so we don't take. So while eating, concentration on food and the process of eating is important. And silently and without talking. And so these are the rules already discussed by the Tiwari madam. So I'm not describing. So there is challenge and silent epidemics. COVID-19 pandemic burst upon us suddenly, shocking the world into taking immediately corrective steps. But the equally deadly silent epidemic caused by our food habits goes largely ignored despite multiple alarm bells. Nutrient deficiencies and toxicity from the unsafe and poor dietary habits today are linked to nearly all modern health conditions. Diabetes, heart diseases, and even cancer are all highly influenced by one's diet. And the same can be said for allergic autoimmune disorders like arthritis thyroid disorders, and many more. The double burden of the undernutrition coupled with the increasing incidence of obesity, particularly among the children, is threatening our social and economical fabrics. Unsafe food kills as estimated 420,000 people every year. Globally, 1 in 10 people, 600 million fall sick because of unexposed to food contaminated with bacteria, viruses, parasites, and chemicals. So these deaths are entirely preventable. So taking care about the food rules, food habits, and proper meals, we can save the life. So this data is WHO's data I've taken. And secondly, these are the related to the food habit, but equally important, some physical activities also. Along with the proper diet, physical activity is another important aspect to prevent the disease as well as the maintenance of the healthy status in the individuals. Insufficient physical activity is the fourth leading risk factor for mortality, because nowadays, just now it is open in the corona period, even the school also going in home. So there is, especially in children, no physical activity was done by they studied at home only. So it is the fourth risk factor for the death. Approximately 2.3 million deaths each year are attributable to insufficient physical activities. People who are insufficiently physical active have 20 to 30% increased risk of all causes mortality compared to the who engage at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity on the most of the day of the week. Hence, physical activity is also one of the important factors which we have to include in our daily regimen. So, like physical activity, sports, etc. So, exercise in sense of awareness from bodily labor, that is called vyayam. It is also important, and physical action which is desirable and is capable of bringing about bodily stability and strength is known as a vyayam in Ayurveda. And also in present time, yoga is very important from the exercise as it offers physical as well as the mental health. Priyanka also highlighted on this topic, and there are so many benefits of vyayam. So its ability to work, stability, resistant to comfort, ability of dosas, especially it decreases the kapha dosas, stimulate the power of digestion, depletion of the excess fat, distinct of and compact the body, and it becomes a firm and steady. And thus, appropriate diet with proper methods of its intake is crucial for the preventable of healthy status. Likewise, physical activity is also important aspect of one's daily regimen as per the Ayurvedic classics. To generate more and more awareness regarding these basic principles of Ayurveda in day-to-day life, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India is actively involved in various social activities. As a part of this effect, Ayurveda Day is celebrated every year with full enthusiasm. This year, the theme of Ayurveda Day 2020 celebration is Har Din Har Ghar Ayurved, meaning use of Ayurvedic principles in everyday use by all. So these are the things. And I also thankful to Rajesh Mishra ji, who invited and conducted this type of seminar. So this is also explore our Ayurvedic principles. So I thanks whole team and inviting me. So with this brief lecture, I start. Thanks to invite me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for explaining this Ayurveda Day, the importance, and so really appreciate your presentation, and your background is really nice. Same, this is from the Gujarat or your background?
Gujarat, sir, Gujarat. Gujarat, thank you.
So that's very nice. You're promoting Gujarat
Thank you, sir.
Ayurveda. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now we have one young scholar, Dr. Remya Jaikumar. She is the PhD scholar from Banaras Hindu University, India. So I would like to request Dr. Jaikumar, please speak on your topic.
Namaste, and thank you for inviting me. I think I am audible now.
Yes, yes, please.
And shall I start the screen sharing?
Please.
Actually, I feel some problem. Can Dr. Rajesh?
I do.
Thank you, doctor. So by the time I think I can introduce myself, actually, Gurubhyo Namaha. Very good evening to all respected fraternity, Ayurveda fraternity, all the stakeholders of Ayurveda and rest all admirers. Myself, Vaida Remya Jaikumar. I am a PhD scholar and here in Banaras Hindu University, and my PhD work is guided by Professor Dr. Namrata Joshi ma'am, and I belong to the Department of Rashastra by Shri Kalpana, Faculty of Ayurveda, Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University. So with this,
is it audible? Sorry, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
PowerPoint, is it okay?
Yes. Is it able to change into PowerPoint like?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes. Now it's okay. Thank you.
Please.
So, please next slide. Yes. This year's theme, as everyone is knowing that it's Har Din Har Ghar Ayurveda. From the flag off of September 12 to the 6-week program planned by the Ministry of Ayush, ending in the day of Dhanvantri Day. We are just 3 days away from the day on Sunday, 23rd October. So it's nice experience. There were several campaigns in these 6 weeks. We were seeing that. So every day, everywhere Ayurveda. Actually, while saying this, it's ensuring the cost-effective and easily available aspect of Ayurveda to maintain the health. And we can see that it is practiced. It's already being practiced every day. Means from our childhood to this time, we are actually living with Ayurveda. We are actually walking with Ayurveda. And by this we are able to preach what we are saying. I mean, what we are preaching, we are using it for practice. So it's a very good way to express our loyalty. And with this, I actually want to congratulate the Ministry of Ayush for this very slogan, That is very true to heart slogan to be launched in the 7th Ayurveda Day celebration. So all the congratulations to the ministry and all the people behind this. So moving on to the next slide. So this is statistical data I have taken from WHO website. So this is statistics from the 2019 period. That is from the pandemic is just getting started. So at that time, we are having lot of issues. We are seeing lot of issues at that time. That like the mental issues were just rising up. From when we say it from 1 among 10, at that time it was like 1 among 5, and number of suicidal deaths was also increasing, like 1 in hundreds. That is an alarming rate. And mostly reported cases were of anxiety and depression, and then the rest all mental health issues were being seen at that time. So next slide, please. So we all know that the October 10th is being celebrated as the World Mental Health Day, and each year with a new theme, and 2022 it was like making mental health and well-being for all a global priority. So it has been kept in that much priority to be implemented. And yes, the 25% increase in the anxiety and depression cases, and we saw many people getting just thrown off from the working places, and many difficulties. And among this all things, many efforts were taken by many governments to implement the health, mental health means rescue. Like by the Turkish government, they have just trained their primary care workers with the mental health scaling activities, so that the Syrian refugees there were benefited. And like small measures from the Sri Lankan authorities, they were having the suicidal deaths because of the pesticide, cheap available pesticide. So they made it hike for that rate. So the easily availability was cut down, and so the suicidal death was just tapered down like that. So these are all just rays of hope, and we are seeing that. So from this, I'm going to the next slide, that like everyone was discussing today, that food. Yes, food is very near, and by the way we are using it, we have to customize it, and so that it will be beneficial not only for the body but for the mind, because Ayurveda says that a part of food is subtle being a part of mind. No, I'm not changing the slide. I want to thank you. So let food be thy medicine. That is said by the famous quote of Hippocrates. But the same concept has been discussed ages ago by our sage Kashyapa, like Aharam, Mahabhaishij. And Ahara is also, as we all know, the 3 pillars of life. The varied concept of this in this time, we can say that that's the gut-brain axis. It enhances the concept of food and mind. And even the nutritional psychiatry, it's actually a developing branch nowadays. And the Harvard Medical School actually found distinguishing differences when the Mediterranean type of diet and the traditional diet have a more supporting effect on psyche than the Western food junk culture. Next, please. Next slide, please. So yes, the gut-brain axis. Our gut is a dwelling place of more than 1,000 species with the 9 million genes in the microbiome, and includes bacterioids, firmicutes, proteobacteria, actinobacteria. And this proteobacteria and firmicutes, they constitute the 3/4 of the population. And the microbiome has a luminal microbiome and mucosal microbiome. And where the mucosal microbiome is very much exposed to the vulnerabilities of whatever we are just feeding it. So we know that the gut-brain axis is a 2-directional way, and it can it is collaborating the neural and the endocrine pathways, starting from the environmental stress, releasing the corticotropin releasing factors, and the all cascade of reactions start ending with the cortisol production from the adrenal glands. Of course, the immunity and the humoral pathways included in that. With the we can see that the macrophages being employed by the B lymphocytes, the CD4 T cells, these all are enclosed in the axis. We can see that. For more specification, next slide, please. So, yes, it's a two-way pathway, and we can see that by this, the higher orders, higher brain functions like affect, mood, and cognitive functions are connected with the peripheral intestinal functions. We can see the vagal nerve stimulation and then the deliverance of it for the main functions. And we can see that the epithelial cells, the smooth muscle cells, enteric neuron, these are getting acted upon by both the cortisol action and also the gut microbiome. And the thing is that this gut microbiome will have a similarity among, it is unique to an individual, but among the healthy individual, it's having somewhat similar effect, similar proportion. And that is why in different diseases like in autism and IBS, we can see that the dysbiosis or the microbiome is not in a functioning aspect or contributing to the pathogenesis of the disease. We can see that in this one is getting irregulated. Actually, the fecal microbiota treatment is now being implemented. We have the concept in Ayurveda, but it is being implemented nowadays in the colon cancer cell lines and in vitro, and they have also tried it in vivo and being implemented slowly, gradually in the humans. Next slide, please. Doctor, please, next slide. Thank you. So with these all, I'm going to the sattva, the very mind, and we call it, we can call sattva our mind, and the inclination towards the sattva guna in the mind. We have seen, we know that the Rajesh and tamas as the doshas of the mind. Keeping that in mind, we can say that if when the Rajas and tamas, it's being balanced, the sattva can perform the qualities inclined to the mode of goodness. Next slide, please. Yes. So with this, I'm going to the sattvic food. Actually, our acharyas have, while describing the Sharira Prakriti, there are doshas and Vada, Pitta, and Kapha. And with that, we can, as Dr. Priyanka has told, and that's all, we all know that we can customize the medicine according to the person and just the individual. And so the tailor-made medicine can be given to them to make it very pinpointed effectively. So like the mind is also having different characteristic traits, and has been enhanced, it has been told by our acharyas like sattvic prakriti, rajas prakriti, tamasic prakriti. But like knowing that each prakriti, we can diagnose a patient's inclination and we can specify a treatment for him. So the earliest reference to the sattvic food or can be seen in Bhagavad Gita and also Hatha Yoga Pradipika, but a clear cut or a pinpoint reference to this in Ayurveda we cannot, might be not be able to clear, but we can read between the lines. But this line I have taken from Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter, and 2 lines. The first line is saying about the benefits of sattvic ahar, like it is contributing to the longevity, arogya, that health, then happiness, the comfortness, and the hints to what type of food will be sattvic, like it is will be juicy, and it will be foam, like fibrous, it will be ojasya, that is pleasurable to heart, and it will be between snigdha with a oiliness, or with a ghee, we can make it like that. So with this will be like the sattvic food. Next slide, please. And this is the Rajasic food. As we all know, it is a bit spicy, pungent, creating a burning sensation, and then salty, sour, this type of foods. And the same way, this can also cause the sorrowness, sadness, and the just definite character traits. It is being contributed to different, like cruelty, pride, excitement, and anger also. So this is about Rajasic food, and then going to the Tamasic food. Next slide. So whatever stale food, or which is being 3 hours passed away, made and 3 hours passed away, it can be concluded as a Tamasic food. Means when we talk about sattvic food, it should be a bit fresh, and this when it gets kept or refrigerated, again it is being told as Tamasic food. So it will be bad smelling. When even we can tell it is a juta, like we should not eat anyone's juta like that. And of course it will create the rest of Tamasic features like depressed mind, bad conduct, intellectual deficits, ignorance, etc. So with this, I want to just I just kept a slide for these 3 food examples. And with this, I want to say that when we are taking this type of 3 mode food, actually this is contributing to our treatment also, when we are considering the mental health issues. So because now we are seeing many experimental studies means substantiating these facts. So the thing is that, next slide please. Like when in the generalized anxiety disorder, we can see that the neurons are getting damaged. Actually, they are getting damaged means their neurogenesis is also getting hampered, or because of the many type of shrinkage is happening there, and glutamate release is there. Glutamate release means it will be causing damage. Excess release is causing damage to the cells, and so the cells are getting into apoptosis, and thus in the hippocampal regions, and therefore nothing is happening there. So in that cases, the anxiety disorder, so this is just a molecular level what is happening in the patient gets agitated. We can know that the symptoms are happening. So as a part of treatment, as a supplement treatment, this omega-3 fatty acids are given, but as such is given. And the thing is that it is ending in many side effects. So the thing is that this omega-3 fatty acids can be seen as icosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid. And the thing is that the ALA, the alpha-linolenic acid, it's is the precursor of this omega-3 fatty acids. Even the EPA and DHA, even the EPA and DHA we are seeing in we are seeing in many of the meat food, means many of non-vegetarian foods, but the ALA is more in plant-based food. So while giving a precursor, it will be benefiting the body to make the rest all processings towards the omega-3 fatty acid, and which will keep an impact on the oxidative stress, the neurotransmission, and the neuroplasticity, so that the reactive oxygen species and all can be alleviated, and the stress scavenger and the stress can be alleviated, and the neurons can be protected from the damage. So this ALA is more in plant-based food. So this might be the reason we have to incline our things, but we have to incline our thoughts and everything towards the sattvic food, so that my mental health can be restored in a general or a gradual way. Next slide, please. Same way in depression, what is happening? The patient, depression is also like that a condition So what is happening means even when we give the depression patients antidepressants, the patient will not be not a non-compliant patient. He will not be cooperating. So the medicines will be skipped and nothing is happening there. So in that cases, of course, the non-vegetarian foods, you know that the amino acids will be transformed to serotonin, and the serotonin will keep the levels so that the molecular levels of depression may be managed. But when we think about prevention aspect, the fruits and vegetables and the dietary fibers from it, this will be creating a protective effect. Like what is happening means when the fibers are introduced, they will the microbiota will manage or will ferment it, and so the short chain fatty acids will be released, and the short chain fatty acids will help in inflammation regulation, and also that type of action in the oxidative stress. And of course we know that the glycemic index will be lowered by them, because when the fibers are present, the absorption of the glucose will be kept low. So in this case, like we can say that the prevention aspect of the sattvic food can be happening. So actually we see this in different types of sattvic food, like nuts, whole grains. Actually there are studies that refined flour, it can decrease the 5-HT, that is 5-hydroxytryptophan, that is the serotonin levels, and the norepinephrine. Everything, it is getting depressed by the refined flours. Even in a schizophrenic study, they are saying that the cereal-based foods is getting their psyche is not positively affected. But when the same persons are given the plant-based food or the fruits and vegetables, they are getting benefited in the schizophrenic cases. So even we are saying that we have seen that the caffeine promoting things like caffeine should be introduced so that the mood will be changed. But actually caffeine inducing things are also being seen. When caffeine induced anxiety, caffeine induced manic disorders are also being reported. So inclining to the coffee habituation might be not benefiting. So that might be the Rajasic and Rajasic aspects can be, we can see that the Rajasic things are being like. But the thing is that in study with Alzheimer's disease, actually the Alzheimer's disease biomarkers were seen in the CSF, and they introduced the patients to some the capsicum and its active ingredient, the capsaicin. So what happened means this biomarkers were reduced in that studies, that in Alzheimer's disease. So the thing is that we can implement the Rajasic and Tamasic doshas when tamasic foods, like if it is, when it is balanced, the sattva will be well balanced. So that if tamasic factors are more seen in a person, we can give him some Rajasic and then maintain the homeostasis of the mind, or the inverse also, so that the sattva inclination can be restored. Otherwise, telling a patient simply to have a sattvic food, it will be very difficult in the case of psyche is affected, where the cognition is not at all functioning. So this might be, I want to tell about the sattvic and Rajasic and Tamasic. Going to the next slide. Yes, this fact things are already being discussed by previous speakers, Arjun Singh sir, Mamta Tiwari ma'am, Priyanka ma'am. But want to more specify it, nothing more to specify it. Like we have to go take this 8 features while we are going to consider for having food. So it will be better for us, like the prakriti, what is the natural quality of the food, the karana, how it is being processed, whether it's hot processed, cold processed, the samyog, what is its combination, what is its quantity, rashi, desha, what is its there's locally available, or it is from somewhere else. The kala, the morning time, the evening time, which time we are eating, the Ritu Sandhi and all, and the Ubyoga Samstha, the person who is the rules of taking the food, and Ubhyogta, the person who is taking the food. What is his mood? What is his physical attitude, etc. So these are all discussed. So I'm not elaborating. Going to the next slide, please. So while that is before considering to have the food, this is while considering what we have to consider the food, like it should be ushna. This is also being told by the previous speakers, like it should be ushna, it should be snigdha, it should be matravat, it should be according to the proper quantity. Then it should be eating we should feel hunger and then eat, and then it should not be video viruddham. We should be at a pleasant atmosphere. We should not eat very speedily. We should not eat slowly, like that. And the last all, we have to have self-realization of ourselves before having the food. Like, should we have this food, or have to postpone it? Should we have it at this time? Am I ready to eat this thing? Even the very thing has been said by Acharya in the Dinacharya concept also. While after getting up in the Brahma Muhurta, the first thing to be considered is to consider your Jadarakni. If it is okay, you can proceed to the next Dinacharya. And if not okay, you can take a bit nap and then go for the next things. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes, the Ashtadosha Karabhavas. This are to be taken in while having food, and that is while we should not take, we should not speak loudly while taking food or dinner meetings, and then we should not have agitated situations like watching heated conversations, heated discussions in a TV channel, and Adhyacham Kramana, like busy scheduling, and of course the Adhyashana and Pramidashana concept, as we all know. After having a proper digestion, only the next food, and then the habituated naps. Of course, Divasapna is given for those people at a particular group of people, and of course in the Grishma Ridhucharya, and the Ahida Bhojana, that is the unsuitable food habits. And of course, like Maithuna, the concept is introduced, might be because watching adult movies or having food. That might be the thing by including the concept of Maithuna. So the Ashtadosha Karabhavas should also be kept while thinking of the food, while having food or thinking we are going to have food. So next slide, please, sir. So this with I conclude my talk like this. Whenever we are having food, just don't. We should not get taking it for granted. It's our organ, it's our stomach. So we should be keeping it rewarding and personalized habits to be developed for having food. Then each serving just need to have the long-term perspective, keeping the benefit to nurture one's psyche. Means we have to think that it is going to have an effect on our psyche. So we have to think that and have the food. Then of course include the seasonal veggies, fruits, whole grains and nuts in each serving, and maintain enough gap between the meals according to one's digestive power, because what the digestive power seen in India might be not be seen in foreign countries, might be different. And add, like Priyanka ma'am also told this, like add some every time some carbonatives like oregano powder, dry ginger powder, black pepper, paprika, basil, cinnamon, thymes, whatever all you are having in your locality, just add in it, and that will help in digestion. And one thing is that honey is said by Acharya to be used every day. It is one of the daily used dravyas, like other than the shali, the shashtik shali, the rice variety, which is cultivated in 60 days. and we can use amla, the gooseberry varieties, then we have to use the very pure water, like collecting it from the open area, like the rainwater. And this type of even the rock salt we can use every day. So this type of foods we can use in that. Honey is also included. But the thing is that in many cultures, food cultures, we have seen that honey is being heated and being used. So our Ayurveda says that it's not be done, because it is going to generate some toxins which we will not be able to cleanse off from our bodies in any way. So we have seen that the pancakes, sizzling pancakes, and the honey is being poured upon. So please just avoid that. Honey should not be heated, please. And the last thing I have seen people practicing, and of course I have also practicing, a sip of hot water or herbal, any herbal tree infusions we can practice. Just half glass or 1/4 before going to bedtime can be soothing for digestion. You can add ajwain, you can add cumin powder, like that. So actually, I'm not I was not strict core vegetarian first. In my initial times, I used to eat everything, but gradually I changed my diet habits, and I just changed into a vegetarian diet. So I think I have benefited from it. So it is according to our prakriti, our inclination, our setup. We have to change the settings, and so these are the references I have used, and I'm very much thankful for the authorities to giving me a chance to speak and express my ideas. And thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Ramya Jaykumarji. And I really appreciate your things, like you present pure scientific way. As we are in the West, so people knows the basic principle of Ayurveda in the Europe. You know, if there is a 1,000 people know the Ayurveda as a practitioner or as a consultant or a therapist, so 800 knows about the 80% about this one. So the how you presented this is the unique, and I think this will be the like quotations, and this is the one of the learning process will be like Ayurveda is not only this Sanskrit terminology and what is from this, but you presented as the modern science way also in relation with, and so which is really appreciable. Thank you very much, and keep presenting Ayurveda in the same connection with the modern science way, so that this will be quoted in future for the modern people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, our next speaker is Mr. 1 minute, sorry. Our next speaker is Professor Bhupinder Singh Arora ji from Chandigarh. So, Dr. Arora ji,
yes,
you are welcome. Please light us with your talk.
अच्छा स्क्रीन शेयर कर। नमस्कार मिश्रा जी।
नमस्कार सर।
सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। आई वांट टू गिव थैंक्स टू यू एंड मिस्टर गुलशन इंगरा जी एंड ऑल रेस्पेक्टेड डॉक्टर एंड माय फ्रेंड्स कि हम लोग एक यहाँ पे एक आयुर्वेदा डे सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए यहाँ पे कलेक्ट हुए हैं, और आपने डॉक्टर मिश्रा जी आपने ये प्लेटफॉर्म दिया है एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच। और मेरा आज का टॉपिक है जीआरटी केयर एंड पंचकर्म। आई वांट टू शेयर माय स्क्रीन। Yes, sir. Am I audible? Visible?
जी,
हो, Mishra
जी,
ji?
जी, 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 जी,
Okay,
जी.
okay. Thank you. So GIT care and Panchkarma. And I think all of us know GIT care. GIT care is the area of medicine that is focused on caring for our unique health care needs. As we know, due to changing phenomena and like nuclear family system, the urban migration of the people are from the rural area. तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है ड्यू टू सम एल्डरली जो पर्सन है वो डिप्रेशन में आ जाते हैं ड्यू टू कोई फिजिकल एब्यूज साइकोलॉजिकल एब्यूज नेग्लेक्शन so nowadays GIT care is need to us. GIT care is very essential. So many diseases are caused due to old age. It is called Jara Vyadhi in Ayurveda and senility is caused by onset of deterioration of cell structure. Panchkarma are very useful, very helpful for slow down aging processes. In aging loss of Dhyanendriya karma like eye, loss vision, loss of hearing, smell taste, and some change in skeletal system like arthritis, and in nervous system like some dementia, schizophrenia like these also affect the status and prostate disease. Genetic disease in various strotas. According to Ayurveda, 13 strotas are mentioned in which pranvay strotas like Swaskas disease occur in old age, Udakvay strotas, tensia, and Anvay strotas, Aruchi, Apachan, Rasvay strotas, jwar, loss of elasticity, Raktve strotas like Til, Kalk, Mashak, and Manve strotas, tumor, Manasve strota, tumor, Medave strotas like obesity, Gadmala. Like this, so many strotas are there. Manove strota like a loss of Buddhi Smrti. And right now we see the problems of genetic age group like physical disorder, psychological disorder, and social disorder. Physical disorder like osteoarthritis above 16 years, when anyone come above 60 years, people are suffering from osteoarthritis, cataract problem, cardiovascular disorders, neurological problem, cancer, prostate enlargement, psychological disorder, senile dementia, Alzheimer disease, social disorder, emotional disorder, जैसे अभी मैंने बताया था ड्यू टू माइग्रेशंस फ्रॉम द अर्बन एरिया फ्रॉम रूरल टू अर्बन एरिया mostly elderly people are suffering from emotional disorder, loneliness, isolation, and dependency. So Ayurveda and GIT care healthcare. In Ayurveda, this is called Vriddhopachariniam. Jara Chikitsa is one among the 8 branches of Ashtanga Ayurveda, and it deals with disease and condition associated with old age. Ayurvedic GIT procedures are aimed to cure the physical, emotional, and behavioral disturbance with the help of well-planned Ayurvedic Chikitsa procedure. यहाँ पे Panchkarma, Rasayan Chikitsa, and Vajikram Chikitsa. Chikitsa, Jara Chikitsa is also called Rasayan Chikitsa and rejuvenation of the body because it aims in revitalizing the tissue for a youthful being. As a doctor, all of you know Panchkarma treatment. Panchkarma is a set of 5 therapeutic treatment patient for the complete detoxification of the body. It helps in preventing aging-related problem. But in aging person, in Panchkarma, 5 karma like Vaman karma, Vrichan, Basti, and Nasya, and Rak motion. But Varman and Vrichan are ayoga for GIT care. So Basti treatment and Nasya treatment and Rak motion we can apply in GIT care patient, in GIT patient. Pur Karma Abhenga. Pur Karma Abhenga is the septic intervention of Panchkarma in which body is treated with simple or medicated oil on particularly moisture for soften skin, and with the help of Abhenga is a lymphatic drainage massage. With the help of it improves our muscle tones and overall skin appearance, improve texture, strain body tissue, lubrication of internal organs, bones, and joints. It helps for also better sleep because mostly GIT in old age patient main problem are insomnia problem, joints problem. So Abhenga is very helpful in this patient. And next one is Sedan Panchkarma. Sedan is the Pur Karma of the part of the Sedan and Snan and Sedan Pur Karma. So in Sedana, Swastik Salik Pind Sedana. When people are suffering from neurological problem, joint pain problem, frozen shoulder problem, then with Sastik Salik is a special Kerala rice which cook in the with milk with the help of bala and ashwagandha decoction and mix with the milk. So that is called Sasti Sali Pinchveda. In this process, patient after massage the patient with medicated oil, apply this bolus on the patient with the help of the milk mixed with the ashwagandha and balamul. Sasti Sali Pinchwet contains Sasti Sali rice herbal drugs like which used to rejuvenate muscle tissue. Main principle is rejuvenate muscle tissue and enhance flexibility and movement of the joints. Like this Patra Potli Sweda. This is also Pur Karma of the Panchkarma, Patra Potli Sweda. In this Potli, when people are suffering from knee joint pain, stiffness in body, so we make the Patra Potli with the like Nirgundi Patra and बेर पत्र नीम पत्र के साथ में हम इसको बनाते हैं शिग्रू लाइक लीव्स यूज शिग्रू चिंचा लीव धतूरा अर्क लीव्स and mix with some lemon and coconut and slightly fried and make this bolus for the purpose of sedation like patra potli sedation. And main treatment is basti. Basti is the like enema of herbal oils or decoction used in Ayurveda. Basti is main treatment in Vata Vyadhi. When person above 60 years old comes in clinic suffering from a lot of problems like arthritis, joints pain, low back pain, sciatica problem. So Basti is very useful treatment for this. Basti karma is the pradhan karma of Panch karma and is used to treat Vata disorder. In this decoction, so anorectal roots we apply on the patient and give the Basti in limited amounts. Basti are the two types, Anuvasan Basti in which we use the oil and Niru Basti in which we use the decoction of herbs. That is called Basti treatment. As in old age, Vat Pradhan is neurological problem is more and Basti is best on the Vat disorder. So Basti is process necessary to relieve from old age Vat disorder. Like the Sthanik Basti or like Janu Basti. Janu means knee joints Basti. Mostly old age people are suffering from knee joint osteoarthritis, knee joint problem, stiffness in knee joints, problem in walking, problem in standing. So Janu Basti is very good external treatment for this. It is an effective treatment for those suffering from knee discomfort and pain in osteoarthritis and knee immobility. And like this Kati Basti, Kati means low back area. It is in this process we make the ring with the urad dal and black gram flour and wheat flour. Like this we make the ring and inside this ring we pour the hot oil like balashkandadi oil, sechar oil, medicated oil, continue. It is a medicated hot oil retention therapy which is performed on the low back to give relief from various kinds of low back pain and lumbar spine abnormality. Mostly old age people are suffering from herniated disc, slip disc. So this is a very good therapy for Kati Basti for low back pain people. And in this process, only 20 minutes, 25 to 30-minute process and very effective. Like this Griva Basti, mostly aged people are suffering from neck pain, giddiness. So this is effective Griva Basti. In this ring makes on the Griva and the neck area. In the cervical vertebrae, C2, C1 to C7, degeneration changes are there. Then this Griva Basti is very effective. And effective Griva Basti given the pain and stiffness associated with neck pain. All these Basti patient can take at home also. So this is very effective. And like this Nasse Panchkarma. Nasse is also Panchkarma therapy. In this medicated oil is poured through nose. To remove kapha toxin from head and neck region. Nasa benefit include trigeminal neuralgia, Bell palsy, improved memory. Because in old age also people are suffering from dementia, memory loss. So Nasa is very effective. Eyesight insomnia, elimination of excess mucus. I have in cold suffering from cold, cough, and nasal blockage. So Nasa is very good therapy for relieving this. Rakt Mokshan Panchkarma. Rakt Mokshan bloodletting. In this, we use leech therapy. Like leech therapy is very common in foreign country right now. Rakt mokshan cure skin disease. If anybody is suffering from skin disease like psoriasis and eczema And leech therapy is very effective. Headache, acute pain, localized sites, psoriasis, gout. In knee joint, we can also apply this leech therapy. Leech are two types, poisonous and non-poisonous. So non-poisonous leech, we use medicated leech. This is medicated leech we use in our practice. Even it's very effective in also in leukoderma and hemorrhoids also. And you know this Shirodhara. Shirodhara, that is the Purkarma of the Panchkarma. Shirodhara is a form of Ayurveda, very effective for suffering from neurological problem, insomnia problem. And in this Shirodhara, two types. So we will make oil and war milk, buttermilk also effect we can use in this process. It helps to reduce stress, strain, related disorder, mental tension, stress-related hypertension, diabetes, mellitus, etc. Because we know Shirodhara is very effective for neurology, because right now people are suffering from due to the physical abuse, psychological fatigues. So Shirodhara is very effective in this case. Rasayana therapy, waste Thapna Rasayan are specialized Rasayana drugs that reverse regeneration changes, increase the lifespan with good quality health. The main utility of Rasayana therapy is a functional and degenerative disorder having chronic or long-standing nature. Following table shows the various status and Rasayan drugs mentioned in Ayurveda. Pranvaya strotas like suffering from respiratory disease में पिंपली भल्लातक आमल की मरीच उदक वे स्रोत लज्जा मंडू अन्न वे स्रोत पंचकोल द्रव्य रस वे स्रोत गुरुचि खजूर मंड रक्त वे स्रोत लोहत बिंदु गुरुचि मानस वे स्रोत स्वर्ण बस मज्जा वे स्रोत गुगुल शिलाजूत अस्थि वे स्रोत अपवा गुगुल अभा गुगुल मज्जा वे स्रोत रोपे बसु शुक्र वे स्रोत मिल्क मूत्र वे स्रोत गोक्षुर एंड पुनर्रवा. Right now in aging person above 60 years, people are suffering from prostate problem, astila, BPI problem. So Gokshur and Punarnava and Shilajit is very effective in prostatitis. Also, Purushve Strota, Kodadharit ki Svedana Srotas, Vang Vasmu. Medhe Rasayanam. Medhe Rasayanam are mentioned in Ayurveda for above 60 years. People are suffering from dementia, memory loss, insomnia, Mandu Parni, Sankushpi, Yashtumari, Guruchi. In different form, we can use this in herbs in different forms, like syrup form, like powder form, like tablet form, like capsule form. This is very effective Medhe Rasayanam. By this way, Panchkarma process, and this we use the genetic care. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रोफेसर अरोड़ा जी. कैन यू
यस
कैंसिल वो कैंसिल कर देंगे जरा आप?
हाँ कैंसिल करो.
शेयरिंग स्टॉप.
शेयरिंग स्टॉप. ओके
या जी. सो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Today,
Thank you, Mr.
Because of the time limitation, Dr. Kalpana Bandechar, Dr. Sanjeev, and Vaidya Mukherjee ji, they are not able to join. So, but still we thanks to them because they are able to find few times for us. And we are really grateful to all the speakers who find time in spite of that inconvenient time, because now it's already in India around 10 p.m. And so thank you very much. And really heartily thanks to all of you that you have find time for us. And a special thanks to Consulate General of India, Hamburg, supporting this event. And of course, the Shakti E4 member, that they are always with us. Thank you, and wish you all happy Dhanteras and happy Diwali, coming Diwali. And
wish you the same, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you very
thank
much.
you. And so hope in New Year's we will come with new theme. Today, especially, I learned a lot how to present, and the way of topic was the very same, and different speaker present the different way. That is my learning. and especially Dr. Ramya Jayakumarji, how she presented in the scientific way. So young people will be more attracted through the Ayurveda. So again, thank you very much to everyone. And all these viewers also, you can write your comments. If you have any questions, we will request to all the speakers, then they will reply. Thank you, namaste, and happy Diwali in advance. Thank you.
Wish you the same, sir.